Hey friends, in today's video, I'm sharing 4 brand new Dollar Tree DIYs that turn empty liquor bottles into stunning high-end home decor. And you won't believe how easy and budget-friendly these are. I'm taking simple items like sand, mud podge, cord, beads, wooden circles, acrylic paint, baking powder, and hot glue, all from Dollar Tree, and transforming empty liquor bottles into beautiful designer-inspired pieces that look like expensive home decor. My name is Nora G, and welcome to my Nook. If you love Dollar Tree DIY home decor, upcycling ideas, bottle transformations, and affordable decorating on a budget, you are going to love these projects. These are perfect for living rooms, entryways, shelves, or even gifts. Make sure you watch all the way to the end because my favorite transformation might just be the last one. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. And hey friends, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So grab your glue gun and let's turn trash into treasure with these easy Dollar Tree DIY bottle decor hacks. We are kicking off DIY transformation number 1 in this Dollar Tree upcycling series, where I'm turning empty liquor bottles into stunning high-end home decor pieces using simple budget-friendly supplies. For this project, I'm working with one of my empty Dusse cognac bottles, and I'm going to show you how to give it a beautiful textured designer look using just 2 main Dollar Tree items, that is mud podge and sand. Yes, that's it. This DIY is super easy, beginner friendly, and honestly one of my favorite ways to upcycle glass bottles into something elegant and unique. So the items I used from Dollar Tree were the black craft sand, which I just showed you, and mud podge, as well as this foam brush. And of course, my clean empty Dusse bottle. Now, I choose to use black sand, but you can really use any color you like. White, beige, brown, or even colored sand. The reason it doesn't matter too much is because I'm going to be painting over it at the end. But if you love the natural sand look and want to keep it unpainted, then feel free to choose a color that matches your home decor style. That's the beauty of this project. It is totally customizable. The first thing I did was grab my foam brush and apply a generous coat of mud podge all over the bottle, as you can see me do. And when I say generous, I mean don't be shy with it. You really want enough mud podge so the sand has something to grab onto, okay? So I worked in large sections at a time since mud podge doesn't dry too quickly. Take your time. A good substitute for mud podge is tacky glue, and Dollar Tree carries that as well. This part is honestly so relaxing. If you love crafting and DIYs like I do, you're going to enjoy this process. Next, I poured the black sand, as you can see me do, all over the bottle while the mud podge was still very wet. I made sure to rotate the bottle and cover every single area with sand so I could get that beautiful, even textured finish. Once it was fully coated, I gently tapped off any excess sand and set the bottle aside. At this point, it already looked so good, but we're not done yet. Okay, I let the bottle dry and cure overnight or for at least 12 hours to make sure everything was fully set. This is really important. This is a very important step, as a matter of fact, because if you rush it, the sand can start peeling off or shifting. Patience is key with DIY projects like this one. The next day, like I'm showing you right now, I went back in and added 2 more layers of mud podge and sand. So basically, another coat of mud podge, more sand, let it dry, and then repeat. Doing multiple layers gives the bottle a much fuller, richer, and more professional textured look. By the time I finished the 3rd coat, the bottle had amazing coverage and looks like something you'd find in an expensive home decor store. Once again, shake off any excess sand and then set aside. After the final sand layer dried, I added 1 last coat of mud podge, this time without any sand. Okay, so this final coat acts as a sealer and locks everything in place so the texture stays strong and durable. Once that dried completely, it was finally time for the fun part. Now you can absolutely leave the bottle as is if you love the natural textured sand look, but I wanted something a little more glamorous and modern, so I decided to paint mine gold. I use gold spray paint, as you see, to give it a chic, high-end metallic finish. And let me tell you, the transformation was amazing, and this video isn't doing it any justice. You need to see this in real life. The texture underneath combined with the gold paint made it look so luxurious, almost like a designer ceramic vase. And the best part, this cost just a few dollars to make. To finish it off, I started my new DIY decor piece, as you can see right on my living room coffee table. It instantly elevated the whole space and added such a classy, elegant touch. You can also use this bottle home decor on an entryway console table, as a shelf accent in a bedroom, bathroom, or even as a gift idea. The possibilities are endless. And that's it for DIY number 1 in this Dollar Tree bottle transformation series. This project proves that you don't need expensive materials to create beautiful home decor. With just sand, Mod Podge, and a little creativity, you can turn something you would normally throw away into a stunning decorative piece. Let me know in the comments, would you keep yours natural or painted like I did? Let's move on to DIY number 2. Jumping right into DIY transformation number 2 in this Dollar Tree upcycling series. This one is giving all the modern boho vibes. Yes, I turned another empty bottle into a gorgeous textured decor piece using simple Dollar Tree supplies like cord, wooden rings, wooden beads, hot glue, and Mod Podge. That's it. No fancy tools, no complicated steps, just easy, budget-friendly crafting that anyone can do. Okay, so grab your hot glue gun and let's get started. I used one of my empty Dusse bottles as well for this project, but you can use any glass bottle you have at home. Wine bottles, olive bottles, or even soda bottles. This technique works on all type of bottles, any of them, and all of them. The first thing I did was plug in my hot glue, of course, and start wrapping the jute cord around the bottle. I added a small line of hot glue at the base to secure the cord like you had seen me do, and then slowly wrapped it around, adding glue as I went. Even though I am using jute cord for this, any other rope would do for this DIY project. You can actually use yarn for this as well. This part is super relaxing, almost like therapy for me. The key here is to wrap the cord nice and tight so there are no gaps and everything looks clean and professional. As you can see me do in this video. I worked my way up the bottle little by little until I reached the top. No rushing here, guys, just take your time. And already, just with the cord alone, the bottle started to look completely transformed. Just look at that. Like I had mentioned, a good substitute for cord here would be yarn, which Dollar Tree also carries. They have a variety of ropes and cords that you can use for this project, but I chose this one. Okay, so just look at how this is looking right now. I love it. So I went ahead to finalize everything at the tip of the bottle. And now, to make this DIY a little more unique and creative, I decided to add some wooden bits, as you would see. But first, I had to seal the jute or the cord at the tip of our bottle. Make sure this is sealed in properly so there are no loose ends. There you go. It already looks pretty good as it is. But now, these beads come already threaded on a cord at Dollar Tree, which makes it easy to work with. So I flipped the bottle upside down to get a good measurement of the surface I will be embellishing with these. Once I got the exact measurement, I took off the excess beads and then knotted the cord, creating a small necklace of some sort. Just watch as I do this. Alright, make sure to tie the knot pretty tightly and then use some hot glue or A6000 glue or Gorilla Glue, whichever glue of you're choosing, to actually seal that in place. That is going nowhere, okay? Alright, so I'll go ahead and cut off the excess once that is glued down. Now, on to the next. I used Gorilla Glue. you could also use E6000 glue for this part to glue the edges of the bottle's base where I will be putting the beads on. This is for a stronger and long-lasting hold because I will also use hot glue to actually hold them in place while the E6000 or Gorilla Glue actually cures properly. Alright, so like I had mentioned, I went ahead to put on our wooden beads and finally secured them with hot glue for an instant hold while the Mod Podge cures properly. Sorry, not Mod Podge, while the E6000 glue or Gorilla Glue cures properly. My bad. This tiny touch makes such a big difference and gives the bottle that trendy boho farmhouse style everyone loves right now. Next, I added another fun detail, wooden rings. I had picked up a few small wooden ring circles or wooden circles from Dollar Tree, which I am currently going to glue one of them right onto the bottle top as a decorative accent, using E6000 glue and hot glue, just to enhance the look and have it match the wooden beads at the bottom. This gives the piece more character and that handcrafted designer feel. This is where you can really personalize your look. Once all the cord, rings, and beads were in place, it was time to seal everything. I took some Mod Podge from Dollar Tree and brushed a light coat over the entire cord wrapped area, as well as the wooden areas. This step is really important because it keeps the cord from fraying, helps everything stay firmly in place, gives the bottle a more finished, professional look. I let that dry completely overnight before moving on, and at this point, you can totally leave the bottle exactly as it is, like I did, if you love the natural rustic look, or you can get even more creative. You could paint the cord a different color, add more beads, attach small decorative charms, and so on. The beauty of Dollar Tree crafts is that you can make them match your personal home decor style. And just like that, this empty bottle went from trash to treasure. I styled mine in my living room, as you can see, using some branches from the Dollar Tree as well, the 4 branches, and honestly, it looks like something you'd buy from Home Goods or Target for way more money. You can add some faux greenery inside or leave it empty as a statement piece. Either way, it looks absolutely beautiful. You can use this piece on a coffee table, on an entryway console table, as part of a shelf display, or even as a cute gift idea. And there you have it, another super easy Dollar Tree bottle makeover that proves you don't need expensive supplies to create high-end looking home decor. Drop a comment below and tell me, would you keep yours natural like this or would you paint it? We are now on Dollar Tree DIY bottle transformation number 3, and this one might just be the easiest of them all. For this project, I used only 2 simple supplies from Dollar Tree, hot glue and Mod Podge, and of course my Dusse cognac bottle. That's it. No fancy tools, no expensive materials, just a glue gun and a little imagination to turn an empty bottle into a gorgeous textured statement piece. So, just like with all my bottle makeovers, I started with a clean empty bottle. This time I grabbed another glass bottle from my stash of Dusse cognac, removed all the labels and wiped it down so the surface was nice and clean before I proceeded. And once again, my bottle, any bottle will work for this. Wine bottles, liquor bottles, soda bottles, the shape doesn't matter, okay? The more abstract the shape, the better. What matters is what we're about to do with it, okay? So now here's where the fun begins. Instead of using sand or cord like I did in the previous DIYs, I decided to get really creative and use hot glue to build texture directly onto the bottle. Yes, plain old hot glue. I plugged in my hot glue or my glue gun and started drawing designs all over the surface of the bottles, as you can see me do. Right here, you can do lines, swirls, dots, geometric patterns, abstract shapes, or totally random designs like I am currently doing for this DIY or this project. All right, there is no right or wrong way to do this. And the best part, you do not have to be an artist. Yes, all right, anyone can do this. This technique is super forgiving and very easy. Even if your lines aren't perfect, once it's painted, everything blends beautifully together. And hey guys, if you've watched right up to this point, the word of the day today is bottles. So if you've watched right up to this point, do comment bottles down below. Thank you. I actually have another video, 2 videos actually on my channel showing different ways to create designs with hot glue. So definitely check that out in the description box below if you need inspiration. For my bottle, I decided to just go with the flow. That's me. I added raised lines all around the bottle, creating a kind of modern, abstract, textured pattern. I kept layering more glue in different directions until I was happy with the overall look, and every area of the bottle was covered in hot glue except the tip of the bottle. This is such a relaxing DIY because there's no pressure. You're just playing and experimenting here, okay? So have fun with this. I always say this for all of my DIYs. The whole idea or the whole essence of this is for you to have fun and explore your creative side. Pro tip here. If your hot glue makes a lot of webs, like it is usually the case with most hot glue, while you're doing this, do not worry about it, okay? Just use the dry brush afterwards over it. And then use a blow dryer as well to have that smoothing out. Once all my hot glue designs were finished and fully cooled, it was time to seal everything in. I grabbed my Mod Podge from Dollar Tree and brushed a nice even coat over the entire bottle. This step is really important because it actually helps smooth out the texture, helps the paint stick better, and also protects the hot glue design and gives the bottle a more polished professional finish. I let the Mod Podge dry completely before moving on to painting. Okay, now this is where the real transformation happens. You can absolutely use spray paint for this project if you want a super quick and even finish. But for this bottle, I decided to use chalk paint and a brush instead. I wanted more control over the color and coverage, and chalk paint gives such a beautiful matte, high-end look. I applied the paint in thin layers, making sure to get into all the little grooves and textured areas created by the hot glue. And let me tell you, once the paint went on, the bottle completely came to life. Look at that. All those random glue lines suddenly looked intentional, artistic, and expensive. After painting, I let the bottle dry thoroughly. If you want, you can also add a second coat of paint, lightly distress it for a vintage look by adding a metallic accent, or even seal it again with Mod Podge for extra durability. The possibilities are endless. And just like that, another empty bottle turned into beautiful home decor. Add some faux greenery, dried flowers, or leave it as a sculptural piece on its own, and it will look just as good. No one will ever guess this started as trash and a little bit of hot glue. Just a glue gun, some Mod Podge, and a little creativity can turn an ordinary bottle into a one-of-a-kind decor piece. Well guys, let me know in the comments, would you try this hot glue technique? Now we've made it to Dollar Tree bottle transformation number 4, and I saved one of the prettiest projects for last. For this DIY, I'm using these Bailey's bottles, and I'm also using completely different techniques to create a soft, elegant, ceramic style look. Using items from Dollar Tree, I will be using for this project acrylic paint and also some chalk paint from Michael's, which I've had at home for a while, as well as baking powder or baking soda. You can also just use white acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. And then of course some butterfly stickers which you would see, and Mod Podge for sealing. Alright, so I cleaned the 2 empty Bailey's bottles which I showed you at the start of this project, one big and one small. This project is super easy, beginner friendly, and gives such a high-end designer finish. The first thing I did was create my custom paint mixture. I wanted a warm, neutral beige tone that matches my home decor style. So I mixed white chalk paint, which you can also use white acrylic paint for it as well, with a little bit of cashmere colored acrylic paint and some baking soda. Once I had the perfect shade, I added in some baking powder, as you just saw, to create that trendy textured paint effect. This is the magic ingredient. I mixed everything together until it reached a smooth, creamy consistency, almost like Greek yogurt, as you can see. That texture is what gives the bottles that beautiful handmade ceramic look we're going for. Next, I grabbed a foam brush from Dollar Tree and started spreading the paint mixture onto the small Bailey's bottle first, and then onto the larger one, as you would see me do. For this first coat, I wasn't worried about perfection at all, alright? There's no need to be perfect here. I used a regular paint brush later on to create texture with my strokes, and the direction really did not matter at this point. This is just the first coat. The goal was just to get good coverage and start building up that texture base, okay? So once both bottles were coated, I set them aside to dry completely. And after the first coat dried, it was time to add more layers. Alright, so I'm doing the same thing on the bigger bottle like I had mentioned, and then you can set them aside to dry for like an hour or two. It doesn't take too long to dry a little bit. This time I switched back to a foam brush, and instead of brushing the paint, I decided to dab onto the bottles. Dabbing instead of brushing creates a totally different texture and gives a more organic, pottery-like finish. You can absolutely play around here, guys, and use brush strokes in one direction to create patterns, or mix dabbing and strokes together. It's all about the look you want. This is DIY, guys, so have fun with it. I ended up adding about 4 coats total because I really wanted a full, rich coverage, since I wasn't planning to paint over this later on. Alright, so just keep dabbing like I'm currently doing until you have enough coverage over your bottle. Now for the fun part, or fun decorative touch, I grabbed 2 butterfly stickers from Dollar Tree, one big and one small. Instead of leaving them plain, I applied the same acrylic paint and baking powder mixture right over the butterflies so they would perfectly match the bottles. I gave them a coat, let them dry, and then added one more coat for extra texture. This makes them look like ceramic appliques instead of simple stickers, you know. Such a cute upgrade. Once I was satisfied with how the butterflies looked, or the coverage of my mixture over the butterflies, I set it aside to dry properly as well. And by now, my bottles were properly dry as well. This was like 12 or more hours afterwards. Just look at that. I love how this looks. So once everything was fully dry, including the butterflies, it was time to assemble. I used a combination of Gorilla Glue and hot glue to attach the textured butterflies onto each bottle. The Gorilla Glue gives long-term strength, and the hot glue gives that instant hold I was going for. This little detail took the whole project to another level and made the bottles look so artistic and elegant. Don't you agree? To finish everything off, I sealed both bottles and the butterflies with matte Mod Podge from Dollar Tree, which I didn't show, obviously, because I've been showing that all through the videos. And this step is super important because it actually protects the textured surface, prevents scratches, helps everything stay durable, and gives a nice finished professional look. Once sealed, I set the bottles aside to dry completely. And just like that, 2 empty Bailey's bottles turned into gorgeous high-end decor pieces. I decided to keep mine exactly as they were, no spray paint, no extra color, because I absolutely loved the soft neutral finish. But if you wanted to, you could also spray paint them any color of your choice, add metallic accents, or distress them for a vintage look. No one will ever believe these started as empty liquor bottles. This project is proof that with a little creativity and simple Dollar Tree supplies, you can create stunning home decor that looks expensive and custom made. All it took was acrylic paint, baking powder, Mod Podge, butterfly stickers, and some patience. So if you've enjoyed these Dollar Tree DIY bottle makeovers, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Alright friends, that wraps up all 4 Dollar Tree DIY bottle transformations. I hope this video showed you that you don't need expensive materials or fancy tools to create gorgeous decor for your home. With a little creativity and a few budget-friendly items, you can upcycle almost anything into something beautiful and unique. Don't forget to hit that like button and also that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting my channel, and for crafting with me today. Until next time, happy DIYing!